Hangar. I'm the Model Rocketeer, and my co-host, Mike Wimmer, is having a couple of difficulties, but he is here. We've got the thumbs up, we have got the green light, and we will get this figured out. So, we're back for another episode of What's in the Hangar. This is our Wednesday podcast where we talk about what we have going on in ways of projects in our personal hangar, whether it be a new model kit that we're working on. I know Mike does something pretty awesome in Special Plan that you guys will see later, and so that'll be a great example of some of the things that we do have in the hangar. For me personally, it is books and lots of reading and writing. But I'm going through a phase or an evolution in my person in which this is really important to me, and it's going to be important to a lot of people. So with that being said, I want to thank all of you guys out there watching. I love you. It's been amazing. We really really appreciate your support, and we encourage more people to engage. By doing this kind of stuff here, the reason we're trying to help others in our community, we're trying to build a strong community, which I think we have, and it is growing steadily. So all you Kit Bash Gundam members out there, thank you. And it's a public group. Feel free to stop by, join out, and let's add to it. Let me get some hand signals, Mike. How's your sound?
I don't know. Can you hear me at all?
I'm pretty sure that we don't have any sound, but rest assured that UFC is on duty for sure.
I think it's just my headphones.
A couple updates on what is in the hangar. Shout out to my man Vince of the Full Metal Gunpla and the Kit Bash crew. I am still working on the Jessa. I will admit that I have taken a little break from my workbench due to what's going on here at Mission Control. I've got a lot of personal things I'm working on that are taking up my time. But I was able to get an awesome product in from Japan from a big-ass company called Rocker, and it is called the Scout Beetle. I've been working on getting my video editing finished up so I can drop this video of an unboxing of this awesome model kit. And then I hope to get some real good detail pictures because I need batteries. So I need to get some real good detail and some action of this working model kit. It's very interesting. There's a lot of small parts and stuff like that create all this movement. Well, there's not a lot of movement, but it's very neat. A lot of tiny screws and stuff. So I do hope to get that punched out pretty soon. I know Mike's back there working fast and furious. Have you guys noticed we don't have Hiko with us tonight? So I want to give a shout out to our correspondent Hiko. He's out there working on some personal projects. Life is school, work, whatever the case may be, that's got to come first. But I guess have no fear, he's doing good. And also another awesome shout out to our other co-host and one of our sponsors, Andrew Cosgrove. We're thinking about you, Andrew. I know you've got your thing going on. My strength is with you, brother. Trust me. I understand, and you're going to need it. But we're here for you, and we'll keep that seat warm. So yeah, we've had a lot of growth, a lot of good things going on here at the Kit Bash Hangar. Although between me and Mike, we are satellite operators of what's going on. We have a few hundred miles in between us, but it's an amazing thing to feel like we're family, and this is what's really awesome about having such an amazing community. We're a family, guys, so to speak, and we do what we do because we love what we do, and all that time and effort goes into supporting companies like Bandai, MadWorks, or our sponsors like Clarksville Hobby Depot. So it's important to keep a transparent community and keep it on topic, be relative for what it is that we're doing. It is important to be able to share your own personal opinions So we're not barring anybody from that, and we're open to suggestions because what we want to do is try to cultivate another type of chat room where we might have some kind of grief that we want to, out or vent. It's important. It's part of our mental health, and that's what our hobby is about. Our community is about mental health, or why we chose this path and this hobby for personal development. And it's important to keep encouraging that in others that we surround ourselves with and be uplifting to those. And lead by example, because somebody might see you building and want to get involved, and now you become the teacher. But do remember, we are always a student forever in life, and we want to look up to each other and try to learn from each other. I learn a lot from you guys on a regular. I'm not active, obviously, that you guys might see, and that is because my job is in the administration and trying to operate on the outside of this. But it is very inspiring to see all these amazing works and all the activity in such a busy hangar. And mad shout outs to some awesome people like Micheal Wimmer for keeping that going, and Hiko, Andrew, Cosgrove, all you guys, Vince, Matt, Crouch, man, the list goes on. Like, bro, we're approaching 4,000 members in our group, and it's incredible. So we've set a new benchmark, a milestone for ourselves, and we get attention from other people. We are doing our job, and that lead by example mentality shows. So my ad is off to you guys for sure. I see you there, Michael. How's it going?
Can you hear me?
I've got no sound, buddy. So I'm not quite sure what's going on.
It's your headphones. Your headphones.
I can't hear you.
I can hear me on YouTube. I can hear myself just fine. It's your headphones.
All right. So I guess what we're going to try, I'm going to pull the earbuds. This might be the key. And if I have to, Mike, I can reload myself into this. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Yep. All right, guys. So stay tuned. I'll be back. Keep an eye on WebC for whatever hand signals you might need.
He'll be right back. I'll be right here. I got stuff to talk about.
I've got you. Actually, as soon as I went to reload that, I think I've got you. There we go. We're good.
All right. Big Cloudwise is in the chat room with us.
Go with it.
And I think
everybody,
somebody else is hanging out with us in the chat room.
Away.
Super awesome. So check it out. This is what I've been working on all week in the hangar is these. So this is what I've been, going through. What it is it is a layered effect. And what you do is you take a magic card that you have like 100 copies of. And when you have like 100 copies of them, obviously they're not very rare. They're full of value and stuff. So you can hurry up and put them, or you can take them and you can kind of like come up with the idea of what card parts you want to be three-dimensionalized, because the card itself, if you look, all those items and stuff that three-dimensionalized. And I know people who have gone up to 12, 15 layers of cards and really gone into detail and stuff, like even made the trees look super three-dimensional. Now, I don't have a good enough razor for the trees, and that's the only thing that bothered me about this certain one. But I did a different one that didn't have trees in it. And this one has less, but I was able to do more with less. So here, I'll show you. So for this one, I'm going to add a few layers into it to make it a little more three-dimensional and everything, but more with less, that whole concept. So this one looks way better than the first one. So that's what is just my first setup, just experimenting, doing everything. Carrie's back. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about. The next thing I got to talk about tonight, I'm just going to be like kind of just getting into it. I had to go grab a couple things, but we're going to talk about one of my favorite things to do, putting parts on gator clips. Okay, so if you're a gun clip painter and you constantly have stuff going in and out of the hangar with paint and clips and stuff, it's really important to look at your clips and make sure you're cleaning your clips and doing all sorts of things like that. And I'll give you examples because I got some really bad clips and I got some nice fresh clips, all sorts of stuff to show you guys. And I'm going to be putting my master grade full armor my full armor Gundam, like just full armor Gundam. I'm going to be putting him on sticks so that I can get that Gundam painted out. I decided that I'm going to take the dark blue parts, paint them gunmetal. Or I was either thinking gunmetal or dark iron. I'm not 100% on that yet. And then after I paint those parts that color, I'm going to paint all the red parts for the kit metallic blue. And then those are the two colors. Yeah, I'm just doing two color changes. So those will be the two things I do. And then once I get the Gundam together, the Gundam itself, I'll look at the weapons that they give you because this thing has a bunch of weapons and shields and all sorts of stuff. So I'll really take a deep look at that and make more modifications for paint to those after I get some of that going, like create some like little green highlights or something, or just something random, like add my own little touch of stuff to it. So that's what I got going on in the hangar, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. It's a cup of water. And then we're going to give the show
really
to
awesome.
Carrie.
I have seen that before in a couple of different places. Maybe Instagram and how they take multiples of that card to make that 3D effect. That is really awesome. Hey, we'll give a shout out to our man Bit Cloudwise checking in from the Midwest, I guess, right? I guess we call it
that's disgusting.
the Midwest. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's super disgusting. How do we handle that?
Oh, it's awesome when you get that robot that pops into the chat that's like, hey, come check out my dating site.
Right. Why is...
I'm trying to get into my YouTube here so I can see the chats, what's going on. I can chime in with Bit.
Yeah. It's
get a different camera direction here. Something.
There we go.
Excellent.
They were
Who's that gentleman on the YouTube? Oh, hey. It's like what WebC?
That's
see, that's me.
Bit is over there on, I think, YouTube hanging out. That's because it's his symbol under his name here has a YouTube symbol. So awesome to have you hanging out with us tonight, Bit. Model Rocketeer's over there. So he paired. How did he pair? I don't know.
Hell yeah. So I wanted to see what was going on, see if we can get in the chat, see what's going on. We need to get some interactivity. We're for anybody out there listening, screen off here. Yeah. Anybody out there listening, maybe chiming into this, hey, come find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, WebC's on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're everywhere. You can find us. Model Rocketeer, WebC. You can find us. Reach out to us. Tell us what's going on. We're looking for some bright stars kind of ideas. Like, are you fired up? Do you have an idea? I mean, come talk to us. So we'll chat. I mean, who knows? We got all kinds of things going on. It's exciting. And this is how it works. So I'm going to drop now on Friday, just like always, we'll do the Friday night kit bash and late night. But I'm going to be on the late night because I'm going to be on the It Is What It Is podcast with the map himself. You can check that out on Spotify too. We'll get some links and drop that all. There's going to be a small lead up to it. But you know what's going on. Everybody knows the Maverick Wolf. But the Is What It Is podcast, we're going to we're going to link it up. We're going to do something, but we're going to bring him on to the late night as a guest. And depends on how this goes. I think we got good chemistry, and Mike's got it with us also. We might have a guest host. Michael, are you open to that?
Yeah, you was talking to me about that guy.
So this is cool. He
Totally open.
his own thing. He's going to take a little break. He's got some things in the works. He's been traveling, a lot of things going on, but he is one of those guys that talks on the is what it is level. You know what I mean? Fuck around, find out. It is what it is, kind of deal. So I think that's a good energy to have. But he is also a Gundam builder. So we're going to, I guess we're going to supplement our badass casting with really empowering each other a little more. I think we have a chance to really influence our community and build some more strength within each other. Uh-oh.
So I've got the anime lights going and stuff on my camera. That's all kind of weird. I don't know what's going on.
Looks good.
This is a special paper towel I buy. You can only get it at one store where I live. So I had to go out and get this because this is it's like a fabric, and it works really good for keeping like dust and particulates down when you're working on your Gundams. So what I do is let me start getting some things out of the way here so I can set it down. Blah blah blah. Right? Always a builder, never organized. That's my whole thing. All right, so over here, I'll just set this down in the fashion of those are all like paintbrushes. All right. I'll take one off and I'll set it down. And then as I put parts on my gator clip, or my gator clips and my parts together, I'll have this paper towel right here, and I'll just pile them on top of this paper towel. And then when I get to another runner, I'll just put another paper towel down and put the next runner on the next paper towel. So that's kind of one of the ways why I do that to stay organized. And how I do it is simply by just remembering, get to the end of that bucket, put the parts down. Now, I only have 4 buckets to do today for parts, but a couple of these buckets have like 100 parts in them. So it's going to be a little intensive. But that's what we're going with. But we're turning a full armor Gundam Verka from a maroon red color and a dark blue armor color to I'm thinking about like a gunmetal color, and I think we're also going to go with a couple other colors too. But I got this metallic blue that I'm going to use up, and yeah, so that's really what I'm doing. I told you guys I would show you like some different gator clip examples. So here's an example of a gator clip that I have let go completely, and it is just oversaturated with paint, and it makes it a chubby gator clip. Now, here's a gator clip that I've noticed it started to build up, and I needed it to be a little bit skinnier to hold some parts, and you can clearly see I knocked off a bunch of that paint that had built up over it. And then, you can always keep some brand new ones on hand. And I do. I always keep tons of new ones on hand. My local surplus store sells a bag of them for $5, and I think you get 24 clips for $5. I'm not sure if that's the best deal, but I think it's a pretty good deal compared to what some of the top brands are charging for their gator clips and sticks and stuff. So that's really what it is with those. It's pretty simple work, nothing too crazy. I am going to pass it back to the Model Rocketeer, and I'm going to switch from my computer back to my phone. Now that we've got the audio issue figured out, I'm going to switch back to my phone. I like the computer, but I need the phone so you guys can see what I'm doing and stuff. So, all right, you guys.
Shout out Coca-Cola. I've loved you since the day I was born. Anyway, so yeah, Mike's got a lot of awesome things going on. You guys should check it. Really look out for what he's got going on. Check out his YouTube. He's got a lot of incredible builds. And obviously, one of the master kit bashers out there that are making it happen. A lot of good inspiration to be had, some incredible knowledge and information. So I guess as we wait for him to switch over, we will take a quick shout out to Clarksville Hobby Depot. Thank you, Mr. Dale, for being such an incredible man and operating such an awesome family-oriented business where you can go purchase your hobby needs, and it is growing. So if you stop over there and want to make a purchase, you can get 10% off, $25 or more from Clarksville Hobby Depot by using the Hangar code G_Syndicate10. That'll get you 10% off your order, $25 or more. But keep your eyes out for amazing discounts all the time. And if you don't find what you're looking for right then and there, you better be quick to the trigger because there are always restocks coming. You better pay attention. So that's how you get it. And as we work through that process, there will be more products available, and we will be able to release those to you. Keep an eye out for Web C and his restock drops when they become hot, because there are times when they get really good. Like during the Gundam, what was it, the RG God Gundam spree? We'll call it the spree. It was it's a free for all. We had an opportunity to try to get some of those out because we have a sponsor that gets what everybody else gets, but we work on a small scale and we're trying to grow that into a community-based momentum versus this click and pay, let's scalp everybody or whatever it is. You can get a good deal at a good distributor, and you're supporting an incredible community. You're supporting a family-owned business, but you're supporting the model industry as a whole when it goes all the way back to when Bandai or whoever these people are looking at our distributors and our sponsors, our friends, our family, and they see things happening. They see us doing good things for the sponsor, for the distributor, and that keeps everything in the green for these producers, these wholesalers, even because we want to keep trying to shape and raise the bar of the hobby industry, and we do that by leading by example. And this is, you're going to hear this on a regular. This is how we do this. We lead by example. And I know you guys probably got a really good grasp on what it is that we're trying to do here, but it's important that we keep trying to push that message out there for anybody that's new. And as we manifest our destiny, and we talk about this, our words are magic. Yeah, I said that. Our words are magic. So sometimes it takes me a minute to formulate a message, or it comes off in broken spurts. And it's only because there's a lot of intention and there's a lot of my heart behind what it is we're trying to accomplish. And it revolves around all of you guys being a part of what this is. I'm just the tip of the spear. I'm just a part of the tool. And I take it head on when it hurts first. And it's important.
You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Gotcha. 10-4. Bring it in. All right. So
yeah.
Back where I'm at.
But yeah, that's how we do it. We're on the leading edge of thought. We're trying to be aware of ourselves as we grow personally in this hobby, and we become more aware of others around us. Because you know what it's like to be hated on or bashed in some kind of group for whatever the case may be. That's not what we're trying to do. So when you get stronger, we're able to kind of fight through somebody else's bullshit because they're fighting with something to be our realest self. And that's what the hobby industry is. To be your realest self. It's okay to hide behind your plastic and do this because your work shows. And gentlemen, my hat is off to you. What do you think, Web C? What do you got going on now? Let's hear it.
All right, so like I said, today we're going to be talking about putting parts on gator clips and stuff like that. So as you can see, I found where I want to put my part. So if we look at the part, this side isn't going to show when the kit's put together. So that's, obviously the best place to place your thing. But you always want to look for something that's going to be stable. You don't want to look for something that, because I use high air pressure, I'm using 30 psi. So I need something super stable. I can't have my part flying off as soon as I
have learned
put some
that
air
lesson.
to it.
I will admit to that as a failure, trying to get a small grasp on a place, and it was precarious, and it cost me even more time and effort in cleaning up the part, getting cat hair, whatever it was on it, because I did not take my time in preparation.
All right, next, another tip, the runner. Take the runner, put it on a clip, and put it with the rest of your parts. And don't paint the whole runner. Just spray like an X across the runner. Just a quick X, because you'll see the original color of that runner and you'll see the new color. So that way, when you're done painting and it's all dried up and you're ready to go back for assembly, you can have that dual color as your reference for what it was and what it is. So
that was really clutch. And I want to chime in on that one because I need that guide, because I didn't quite pay attention to that. I tried. See, I feel like I kind of overshot myself a little bit because you inspired me with some of your builds in these amazing colors. So I lost track of some of my parts based on that simple key element right there. I think that's an incredible point.
in these bigger parts, sometimes you might want to do something like this. Is you're going to take a part like here and here, and you're going to make it so they cross when you hold them. You do that for these larger pieces so that when you get to this far side from here, from say this is the clip you're actually using, if you get to this far side and you're putting pressure on here, it can just bend and not take the paint properly. So if you're holding two sticks that hold it stable, when you get to this side and you blow air on it, it doesn't bend and it'll take the paint properly.
Okay. Now, the only question I have is, would it do any good to tape those sticks together? I kind of see where that would not be feasible because you're going to move it anyway. But
no, don't don't tape them together, because when you're done painting, you can put each one of those pieces in their own little peg slot on whatever you're working on as your holder. Each one of those can, and they'll still hold the part. You know what I mean? Even if you change it from being a V in to a V out, it'll still hold the part. So you'll still be in good condition with that. All right, so this piece is another piece where we're going to seek the inside. Now, see, sometimes these inside parts, this is what I was hoping to be able to show you, sometimes they're a little difficult. And the only way you're going to be able to hold one is right here with this circle part. Right here, this circle piece that's a connector for whatever other opposite piece it is. You're going to go from the inside and you're going to try and leave as much space on the outside so that you see, and that's the hard part. So you don't want that to not get painted. So what I'll usually do is I'll hit it to where it sits, take a quick stop, move it over, and then hit it again. And you just got to be real careful when you move it over. So however you choose to start, that's one option. And then the other option is down here, there's a circle part too, another connecting piece, and you can just clamp right over it. This is why I was talking about a new part or having your clips clean, because a dirty clip, you're not going to be able to get all the way in there. But if you can wedge one in, it's going to be a pretty slick and stable. And that's how you do that. It's all about, picking and cleaning. So what I'll do to clean your gator clips, any paint, it doesn't matter what paint you got on your clips, soak your clip, take this rubber piece off down here and take the stick off and soak just the metal in 91% isopropyl alcohol, and it will take it off. Now, what you can do to help advance it is if you have like 20, 30 gator clips that you need to correct or take the color off of, you can put them all in a bucket all at once, put the alcohol in. Once the alcohol starts doing its job, shake them up, and they'll be like abrasives to themselves, and they'll help you get them clean faster.
Hell yeah. I
So,
was going to say, if that doesn't work, if you guys get some purple power, you can totally put a little bit of purple power and soak your painted stuff in purple power, and it will strip it off.
oh yeah, purple power works too, but I just try to use the least corrosive to the human body
Right. No,
type of item.
I know that we talk about safety, so that's really
Yeah.
important. Good point, Mike, on that safety factor. I just know that it does work. So that's an advanced tip for you guys. So pay attention at home. Kids, don't play with that shit in the garage. It's dangerous.
There we go. Look at that. Model Rocketeer's in and out on us. I think you can still hear you while your camera's
Yeah,
not up,
I'm still
just so you know.
But
Okay.
I'm trying to give you the camera space because I'm watching you and I'm learning.
Oh, hey. That's awesome. So, yeah, and that's all. I'm going for the least part of resistance, to find where it's not going to affect the paint, it's not going to affect anything. Now, I just came across something that isn't the
One
least
thing
part of resistance.
that you just touched on also, when you were talking about that circular part for the attachment of the other like armor that goes to it, to pay attention and don't be careful of your overspray when it comes to some of the slide connectors that go into the leg armors, where you might find that once you painted this part of it a couple times or layered it, it doesn't quite fit because there is paint on one of the attachment pegs that you just didn't quite catch.
Right, I can agree with that. Especially if you're using a water-based acrylic or the Tamiya lacquers where they build layer ups.
Right.
Because those are the ones where the pigments create the heavy layer ups on those are what's going to be the big interference is what you're talking about. So yeah, be careful to watch where you're spraying and everything. Some people even tape those little holes off. They take and cut a bunch of little squares, and then they just take like I just had the tool out earlier today. Where did I put it? Oh no, it's down here.
If that doesn't work, what I found is I started to crumble up strips of paper that I was just stripping out of a notebook into like little balls
Oh yeah.
and just pack them into the part
Yep.
the best that you can, and that will help overspray. But yeah, Mike's got a great point. You can use tape to cover significant ones that you can't help but miss. But I did discover that on the Jesta because the leg armor slides on to the upper thigh and the rear hamstring area in a particular way. And I was using acrylic paints, and I got layers. So I didn't watch my overspray, and it made it tough. So my quick fix was to dog ear the square slide pegs so that it went on much easier. So I will pay attention next time.
Okay. That sounded pretty good. I like it. Commit. Right? So
Did you just say commit?
Commit. Yeah, commit to that
I'm
action.
holding a pen in my hand and I'm tapping the word commit that's written on my piece of paper in front of me.
Yeah, brother.
That's weird. Damn.
Same team, man. Same team. What's that? Good friends always on the same channel, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what they say, like, with me and my wife. We're always on the same channel. Always. It's a good thing.
Definitely. That's a communication factor that is golden. And that's exactly what I'm seeing in front of. that nobody sees me working on right now. There's a lot of information like that, and I was just sitting here tapping it with a pen,
Well,
and the word is actually commitment, but I can only see the word commit because there's a book laying on it. But I was sitting there just tapping it, and you said it, and it was just so strange and magical. But it is. It's a wavelength. It's an energy. And
that's super awesome.
the wise out there was just chiming in on that. That we have good energy, and that's because we're working for the same goal. We're creating this for the greater good of all. I hope that what I do is in my greater good, but also that it continues to go forward and be the greater good of all. And that's where I said
20
I
years
another
from now,
component of this. So we work together for the greater good of all, and we just keep getting bigger.
20 years from now, some kid's gonna discover us sitting here talking trash with our Gundams out. Oh, I mean, yeah, with our Gundams out.
Yep,
Damn right.
exactly.
Dude, that's, you know, catch me talking trash with my Gundam out. With my Gundam out.
It's like sun don't come out, guns out.
Yeah.
Because
All right,
I feel like
and
Superman. I'm powered up by the energy of the
here's
sun.
the first thing.
So when
I
it's
take
not
a
sunny
bit of
outside,
tape.
I feel kind of down and out. But gotta pull your guns out.
So when you're having a little bit of issues and can't figure out where you're supposed to put this, you just take a little bit of tape. Now this is a weird part. So this part does not have really, it's the face. It's part of the face of the Gundam. So it doesn't really have a good spot to connect to. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the spot that hides behind everything and you're going to tape into it. You're going to find a way to get the tape to hold the Gundam so that you can spray it. So the parts you want to be colored will be colored and the parts you don't matter. That's how I hook it up, G. You just kind of gotta, don't overthink it. Just put the tape on and push the part on.
Yep,
And
I
let
learned
it be.
something from. I'm not sure where I learned it, but it's from somebody on YouTube. And same principle, but it's putting. Use putty on the end of a pencil
Oh, yeah.
and just
Putty
stick the
works
part to
too.
it. And if you
Yep,
do
putty
it right,
works
you
too.
can
I like
mold the
that.
putty to certain faces or of the part itself and get good coverage as you need it. But if you paint a part, to be cautious of adding putty because it might pull the paint off.
Yeah, it could. All right, and see, here's another. I'm putting down these paper towels because I'm checking to see if these parts are still wet because I didn't have paper towels to dry these parts on this time. I had to force myself to allow them to dry inside these tubs. But I washed these tubs out to the point to where like my fingers and the tub squeaked against each other real heavy. Like they were super clean when I got done with them. So that's what these tubs are. And so the parts are still all super clean and stuff, and yeah, they're all dry. I'm surprised they dried like that. That's just, I've never done it before, but the air is so dry at my house. It's wintertime now, so I don't have to worry about no moisture or anything. I can just spray away. All I have to do today, just spray away. If my gun gets too hot, I can open up my window for a little bit, and it'll suck the air right in, and it'll cool my gun down. So awesome that way too. Um, so here we are with like I said, so certain parts you're just baffled on where you're gonna put the holder for the the paint. So what I am seeing, my only option is going to be is I'm gonna have to paint this part twice. That's my option. So I just gotta figure out what's gonna be worth it to me to paint twice. What should I paint twice? Or what could I tape off and paint a different color later? So I have this pad right here on the ankle part. Like this looks like where the ankle would be right there. So this pad right here, if I clip here, I can paint all the rest of it the color I want. And then I can paint that like metallic blue. That pad right there, I'll just taper off around it. and then spray it metallic blue. So I'm going to do my gunmetal first. I'm going to paint everything in gunmetal first. So that sounds like a good plan. We'll move forward with that. So just be careful and, put it on. All right.
Awesome. No, I think it's going to be awesome. This is going to be a great build. Those are some really good tips. I'll be able to take those to the bank. I wrote a few
Right.
down.
You get a free masterclass from Web C, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. I got front row seats, man. I get to sit right next to the captain.
And here's the bin that I'm not looking forward to painting. This bin right here. Lots of tiny little pieces like this. Lots of thrusters. There were a lot of thrusters on this Gundam. They just loaded this Gundam up with thrusters. And of course, yeah, I'm wearing gloves to keep the oils down. And I'm also doing that for the sake of not having to worry about the oils on my hands and stuff. I can pick the part up and move it around and look at it more, and not have to worry about my finger oils touching the part. And, oh, did I muck it up or anything like that? So it's pretty good.
I see where
somebody
has chimed in, and he says, "Viva la Gundam Dome."
Gundam Dome. All right, this is going to be another one of those parts we'll have to double paint. So now we have to figure out, what do I want to double paint?
I suppose I could take a quick second and run up to my bench and get that Scout Beetle, because it is complete. I just need to put batteries in it so I can obviously see it operate. But it is fully, and it's pretty incredible. But I was pretty much done with it last week when we did this.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it all.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out great. I think the only thing I did do was put the wings on it off camera, and they were real fiddly the way it worked, because they're on these little wires, and there's like a camshaft that turns, and it makes the wings move like in a V pattern, and they kind of oscillate, so when it looks like they're vibrating. I haven't seen it yet,
okay.
But that's the action.
Sweet. There's another part. Super easy. So yeah, it's not that I don't like this blue. It's just I envisioned this Gundam with a different color scheme. When you call it a full armor Gundam, I imagine that full armor being like gunmetal or dark iron or some sort of, dark metal. Oh, this one's going to be a pain in the neck too. Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's just going to be a pain in the neck.
I find there's some of those, like when you showed that one with the hole, sometimes one with the peg is a little hard, but you can clip the alligator clip to the peg. But for the ones with the small hole, I pull out a piece of wire and I might put it in the hole. I've even gone as far as gluing a toothpick with just Elmer's glue into the hole for a little bit of stability.
Yeah.
That way you can hold it better.
Just some tape. Some tape for that guy. That's all he gets. Tape, tape, tape.
Because I've learned that using Elmer's glue, you can use it like a mask.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think our buddy Andrew has shown me his skills with using Elmer's glue as a mask. It's a really dope concept.
Yeah, it worked good.
Oh yeah.
But I learned a lot on this this build with the Jesta because I wanted to go custom, so that's why my beautiful co-host decided to show up. But on this custom build of this Jesta, I kind of just was winging it, and I got to thinking it would have been nicer if I would have had better masking materials, and of course I wasn't keeping track of the parts as well as I probably should have with your awesome little trick from clipping the runner.
Oh yeah, that little runner trick, man. I've been constantly looking for tips on how to help people with like keeping that. That's like the one thing I noticed when I was younger that I had a problem with that I had to figure out how to correct. So I always look for a way to help people with that because I figure if I had that problem, hundreds of other people could have that problem, and that could be like something that pushes you away from building. You
It
know,
could.
because you get frustrated because I forgot where this part went. You know, and then you gotta spend 30 minutes searching through the manual to find that specific part on the runner picture, if you can even find it. But then you're looking through every runner and you're looking through every part. And it's just, let's save you some time.
I agree, absolutely. Because I kind of stumbled onto that with the rocker scout beetle because I trimmed it all off the runner into a bin, all of it at one time, real fast, because there was very few runners. Most of the parts were in bags, already ready, the small parts. So I just clipped out a bunch of plastic, and that was interesting. But I do understand the concept with a gun flow.
Yeah. And so all the parts that I have for this kit that are not getting painted are sitting over there in matching bins, the same bins that I use when I wash. They're all just sitting over there. They're just waiting for me to be ready to assemble. But you can't really assemble when you're not even halfway through painted a kit. So you have to deal with that. So sometimes I get lazy on the take things off the runner process and I'll leave the old paint on and stuff. It comes right off. It's an easy fix. And then you got to put the new piece of tape on. So this piece, it's a U-shaped piece with nothing to clip. So you have to take this, the U-shaped piece, and push it together like that. This is the only way I've found that it works. Like you can do it wide or skinny or whatever, and you can still hit the edge right there unabrased.
Right.
So you'll hit that. It'll be fine. Everybody will be all right. So I have another one of those to do real quick here. And yeah, I've just learned that part of the process of painting Gunpla is you're gonna spend a lot of tape. I know it sounds odd, but even if you don't tape off your kit, like if that's not your purpose or your goal, you're gonna spend a lot of tape, one way or the other. So have fun while you do it.
Absolutely. That's the essence of the whole hobby. To enjoy what you're doing.
Right. That's the biggest part is I really get a kick out of like, all the building of Gunpla and stuff. I was one of those people, 20 years ago excited to see what custom Gunpla would look like when I was an adult. Like I had woes and wows about that as a kid. Like, what would it look like when when in the future, when computers are better and stuff? What'll Gundams look like? How will people build them? Oh man, we're still building them by hand. Well, I
It's the
mean,
only
and
way.
there's those people who have 3D printers And they built quite a few cool custom setups and stuff, and they're all cool. I'm not knocking them because I don't have the computer savviness to be able to do it, but if I did, I would definitely be using some 3D printed stuff. So that's, I don't know. I see that as being the future of custom gunpla 3D printing. And
Yeah.
right now, the competition world is being very, how do we say, resilient to allowing this new form of gunpla into the ranks of competition building. And the reason why is because, well, at some point you're taking it so far away from Gundam and turning it into something else. Um, because like, oh well, in real life or in real Gundam, well, that character, that Gundam wouldn't have all those exuberant, embellishments or whatever. Some people go that far overboard. In the Gunpla community, on the tournament side, they get kind of picky about those things. I think it's weird that they do. Like, I support the use of all sorts of materials. I I use clips from my bread bags for Gunpla to give you an idea of what I support for using in Gunpla.
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me, man. I Whatever you can do to make your kit look cooler.
Yep. I saw that. I thought that was really, really pretty neat. I've seen it used in applications. Uh, that idea can be transmitted onto all kinds of platforms. But I'm
Oh
definitely
yeah.
a big supporter of the 3D printers. I do like that, but I'm not sure where I'm at on board with all the interesting things you can do with the custom gunpla. I look at 3D printing more as a necessity for my diorama needs.
Oh yeah, that's true too. I like that concept though. Because yeah, you could, you know, 3D print a whole cityscape for one diorama,
Right.
real quick. It'd be really cool. I'm not against that. I'm not against. Like, that's a great idea and great use of 3D printing. So
Yeah, because I'm just a lot of little elements, very unique idea elements for certain build applications, and then being able to use scaling to get what you need. Because we've got an awesome friend over in the Philippines. Don't know how to say his name, but it's like Aqui Abwos, but he makes some amazing miniatures. It's incredible,
oh, okay.
and that's the level that I need to be at to produce the artwork that I'm trying to.
Heard.
But he's in one of those countries like that, like in the Philippines or something, where he can't really advertise or do like commerce with his art. So he's just it's really tough.
Yeah, I get it. It's kind of interesting about that though too. Like, their their rules and stuff. I wonder why. Like, it just makes me go, I wonder why those people feel that way about those things.
That's the
I
thing
wonder
is that
why.
everybody's wondering, and that's what's really kind of step on that limb for just a moment. That's kind of fucked up in the world today, and it seems like our country as a whole is kind of fighting back against is that thumb on you, but it goes across
Yeah.
the world. There's a lot of things that people are being oppressed in so many ways, and there's no need for it at all. It's just control, and it's starting to show. It's just not healthy.
Yeah. No, you're right. Preach, brother, preach.
But yeah, we could do a lot to alleviate some of those issues with some roundtable meetings on how to better serve each other instead of asking what we get from each other. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, look, what
Yeah,
can I do for you? What are you looking for? What can we do? And then, you know, let's work together. Because if they don't have it, don't you think they can maybe introduce you to a friend that can? Anybody that knows anything about street vending or, street farm kind of thing, that's how that works. Hey, man, what do you know? What do you got? Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Hey, do you know? Hey, absolutely. Talk to my friend Joe. Hey, Joe, what do you know? And he's like, yeah, I got that. You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's really easy.
Exactly what you mean.
So that's all I want to do. I'm just a good person. Mike's a good person. It's what we do. If I don't have an answer, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to tell you I don't. I'll give you the best ability answer I can, but I will warn you that's probably bullshit.
If your
But
question's
if we
asking
work
for an
together,
opinion,
we can find an answer. It's just something I might not have experience in, and
yeah,
that's where I'm
yeah,
starting to
definitely,
learn
yeah,
where I have very, very particular experiences, and my personal life and endeavors are drastically changing. But it's not for the bad. It's
Mhm.
just it's I want to say it's extreme, but it's really not. Everything I've been doing or everything I've ever done has led me to all this, and I wouldn't be able to have the conviction to try to you know hand out advice if I didn't believe in it because I've been
Nice.
taught by the right people now and I've understood things, or I've screwed up and failed, and I can promise you it doesn't work certain ways. But yeah, I
Yeah,
just feel like there's a lot of growth going on, and this is a season for that. There's a lot of energy, you know, that's rising within all kinds of communities. Um, I'm afraid to say it because it's really off-putting to some people instantly, but it's a feminine power. It's a feminine energy, and it's rising because we've been
yeah,
suppressing it
ladies.
for a long time, just the way the world has been. But we're also going through this catalytic change of things that they're telling us, and it's opened this doorway to allow the common sense and that motherly instinct of women to start to get out, let alone some of the things that go on, over like maybe in Iran or whatever, where these women have been put down. It's
Yeah,
wrong,
right.
but
I don't
I feel
like
like
that
we're
either.
all to feel the call of that feminine energy, and it's called sacred
Yeah.
rage, and it's upsetting, and it makes us angry, um, and we need to be supportive of our women that are going through that, maybe feeling that energy that are trying to do that. But in ourselves, because I'm speaking from experience, I can feel it, and I'm trying to adapt uh, to be a little more compassionate and kind or feminine in that energy, and understand
Woohoo.
just how important that is uh, to all of us. You know what I mean? We all had mothers, so this is where that starts. It comes from. Um, there's a guiding
All
force
right.
in that energy.
So my first color is all set up on gators. So when I get to that point, and when I come over
Uh,
here and look at other things, you're gonna see all my mess. So
oh, there you go. Gotcha.
when we come over here, turn the light on. This is where my parts will sit while I'm working. These guys will get moved. They're all their parts that are ready for painting. But I only have so many clips and runners at ready for use at one time. So I will put some paper towels down. I got just enough lacquer thinner to get through maybe tonight and tomorrow painting. And then hopefully after that I'll be done painting. Because it should just be a quick color swap. It should be all right. And like I said, we'll see how it goes. So super easy, super quick. Then yeah, Friday night I should be ready to assemble. It should be ready for assemble
Oh, Johnny 5.
Friday night. So yeah, Johnny 5 will be alive. Yep, but right now I need to take a break because these gloves, oh, they make my hands sweat. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I'll say we're at an
Yep.
hour and 2 minutes now.
Yep, let's go ahead and say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Damn, I took a hit off my vape stick. Now I'm like, I'm gonna die. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us for another What's in the Hangar Wednesday. I think Mike was able to bring you some really awesome tips, and we got to see it in action, so that's going to be important.
Yep, that's what's called What's in the Hangar Wednesday. Wednesday. What's in the hangar?
Most sincere gratitude going out to Andrew Cosgrove, one of our sponsors here.
Yeah, Professor Cosgrove, hurry up and come back. We know it's going to be a while, but I just want you to know we're all here rooting for you, pulling for you, checking for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You too, Hiko. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. We're here. We're waiting.
Yep. We'll see you again. We'll talk to you again. It'll be like a